Well, hello again. We are in Holy Week on Maundy Thursday. I know that that's a funny name. How could it be Monday and Thursday? Well, it's not Monday Thursday, it's Maundy Thursday. And it's the day that we remember when Jesus was betrayed and arrested before his crucifixion and resurrection. We are just 4 days away from Easter. And so this is a very special day in Lent, in that season of Lent in our church. So welcome to Godly Play, and let's begin our story. We are back in this special box, this special story. This is when we are in Holy Week and we are remembering the person Jesus. So let's see what's inside. It's got a pretty cross on it. I like that. Ooh. See, there's a few things. Let's start here. Yes. Yes. So we have the purple, the royal color. And we use purple, we remember, friends, some of us remember, we use purple when we're talking about the stories in Advent, so leading up to Christmas, and in the stories of Lent, so leading up to Easter. Purple is a very special color. We like to think of it as a royal color. It's a color associated with the royalty of Jesus. See what else is in our box today. Yes. The birth of Jesus. There he is with his parents. We remember the boy Jesus went back to the temple and started teaching even the elders there. Teaching can be done by so many people. We remember Jesus being baptized by John the Baptist, his cousin, out at the Jordan River. And we heard stories of Jesus, the healer. Here he is healing a blind man. Lots of stories of Jesus healing different people. And here's Jesus teaching. Lots and lots of stories about the amazing things that Jesus said. I'm going to let that slide down. There we go. And then today, we have this image. This is Jesus serving what we would call communion, but because Jesus was Jewish, he was serving the Passover meal and celebrating Passover with his friends. Jesus went to Jerusalem for the last time. It was a time of the Passover, and the city was full of people from many different lands. They thought Jesus was coming to be king, but they weren't paying attention. He wasn't riding on a great white horse when he came into the city. He was being carried by soldiers. Or he wasn't being carried by soldiers, actually. He was riding on a donkey, and it wasn't even his. He had borrowed it. Still, that Sunday when Jesus came into Jerusalem, people waved palm branches, which were a sign of kings. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Jesus went into the temple to teach. Every night he went back to the Mount of Olives with the 12. The people watched him and whispered that the Mount of Olives was where angels were supposed to come down to make an army to drive away the Roman soldiers. One day when Jesus was teaching in the temple, he said, "Do you see that old woman over there? She's going to put something in the money box. Listen." Did you hear anything? No. She put the smallest coin there in the box. That was all the money she had. And now here comes a rich man. He has so much money to put in the money box that he had to have help to carry it. His money makes a huge clanging and ringing as they pour it into the box. You can imagine the pouring of all that money into the box. Now I wonder which one really gave the most. The old woman who had very little to give? Or the rich man who had a big bucket to give? Some said the rich man gave the most. Some said the old woman. The temple guard said, "On Thursday we will take him," meaning Jesus. But on Thursday they could not find him. They looked everywhere and they could not find him. That evening, Jesus and the 12 hurried through the dark streets to a house. They climbed up the stairs to an upper room and shared their last supper together. After they had everything they wanted to eat, Jesus took some bread and gave thanks to God for it. Then he broke it and said something like, "Whenever you break the bread like this and share it, I will be there." He also took a cup of wine, and he gave thanks to God for it and said, "Whenever you share a cup of wine like this, I will be there." Here is that Passover meal again. What was he talking about? He was always saying things like that. How could they know? Still, they did not forget, and later they would understand. Now suddenly Judas got up and he left. The rest, they sang a hymn, and then they went to the Garden of Gethsemane on the Mount of Olives, and Jesus wanted to pray. When he was finished, he joined the 12, but Judas came out of the dark and greeted him. This was a signal for the temple guards to take him. They too came out of the shadows. And then they took Jesus away with them into the night. The 12 disappeared into the darkness as well. Now I wonder what there is or was in that room that night. We can see that Jesus had a bread and a cup that he shared with his friends. We know that the 12 friends, special friends of Jesus, were there with him. I wonder if you could share with somebody you're with, what was your favorite part of this story? You can pause it and share, that's okay. I wonder, what do you think was in that room with Jesus and his 12 friends when they were eating the Last Supper, when Jesus shared the cup and the bread? What else might have been in that room? Who else might have been in that room? Go ahead, share with the person in the room with you. So much has happened in the life of Jesus so far. We still have a few more days till Easter. But on Easter, you'll get to hear a very special story about what Jesus did. We'll see you next time.